Do you think this is a Dallas problem? Do you think there's a problem with Dallas and Metroplex hip hop right now?
I don't. I don't think it's a Dallas problem. I just think it's a problem that people got access to these guns and there's no regard for human life. Again, I don't know the situation on what happened and why it happened and whatever, but from the outside looking in, just in with our people, you know, it's bigger than music, just our people. You know what I'm saying? Texas is a right to own carry, right? You know what I'm saying? So I would imagine, it's unfortunate, but I would imagine it's easier to get a gun than it is to get a job.
Yeah.
And so what we're seeing is tragedies like this, you know what I'm saying? And again, it was happening in the 80s, it was happening in the 90s, it was happening in 2000s, 2010, and it's happening in today. Once, look, I ain't no preacher, but
About to preach.
yeah,
Preach.
Solid about to preach.
I
Preach.
believe in just like the way I was raised, the way my mama raised me. Like once we understand the big issue here, which is this administration that's coming up, you see what they doing. They getting their stuff together. And who in the front line of that? It's us. It's minorities. It's Latinos. It's young black men, older black men, public figures. And when we killing off each other, I mean, we ain't doing nothing but helping the man. And that statement has been talked about in hip hop. It's been talked about by civil rights leaders. It's been talked about, you know, when we talk about redlining and desegregation and stuff like that. This is real life. It's more real than ever. You know why? Because now we got the video to go with everything that's been happening to our people and for our people. But right now we talking about to our people. But this is happening to ourselves. And it's just it's very unfortunate that the thought of somebody's life is not important. And, you know, the RIPs and emojis and all that stuff is cool, but that's somebody's life. I didn't know him personally. We'll see what happens, man. But to answer your question, man, it's us. We got to get our shit together.
I for one, I agree with you to the extent as far as the access to guns, because this is a Texas problem. This is something that's really big and prevalent in Texas. Matter of fact, I was reading an article about this on the Texas Tribune about violence in Texas hip hop in general, because it's not just Dallas. They've had these incidents in Houston as well and other cities in Texas. And they point to, one of the reasons they believe they point to is due to the easy access to guns. But is there something deeper than this? Do you think there is something deeper than this? Because again, I just listed a whole name of rappers just from one city, and let's be real here, Dallas has had some issues getting the scene to blow up beyond on a national scale with hip hop. I mean, look, you're the program director of a radio station,
Right.
of a hip hop station. You talk to these MCs, you see these things, and you talk to these artists. Have they ever said that there's something deeper or something wrong in Dallas, or have they ever come to you and said, you know, what can we do to stop the violence?
Not really. I mean, I think after a while, you know, you're beating a dead horse. We've been talking about this forever. You know, we got to come together. We can do it if we all come together. We've been saying that forever, and we did come together. The early 2000s, and Will and DeRoe and Dosky G and JB and, you know, Playing Skills, Trap Stars, Ricky Bobby, B Hamp, you know, Big Wheel Records. We was coming together. We was making music. People was getting shows. Big Chief, West Dallas, and the city was making money. But there always was some stuff going on, you know, back then. I just think that it's unfortunate that these things play out, but somebody got to see when stuff like this happen, we got to go another way. We got to do something different. I don't know how this whole thing gonna play out, but at the end of the day, we have to make sure that all I can do is play the best music that I can for Dallas-Fort Worth while I'm in position.
Right.
You know, and raise my kid and support my daughter in college and try to be a good husband and a good brother and a good friend and a good host and all that stuff. And speak my piece when people ask me, you know, about community stuff. You know, we've been in the community forever, but, you know, this part about killing each other and hating on each other, it's not nothing new. This has been going on forever. we just got to think different, man. We got to think different, man. It's so much other stuff that's going on right now in America that we got to focus on. And, you know, if you don't vote, if you ain't part of that whole process, it don't even, you know what my mom told me?
What's that?
My mama said, you only do what's important to you. And that's so true.
Yep.
It's so true. If you out there starving and you don't know where your next meal coming from, you gonna do whatever you gotta do to go get that next meal. That's what you gonna do. But if that ain't nothing that bothers you, it ain't gonna be, you see somebody homeless, you're not gonna have the same empathy for somebody that's homeless. Or you could, but more than likely it won't be a big thing to you to try to help that person. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, I don't know. But at the end of the day, if we don't get ourselves together, it won't be no music for nobody because we all gonna be dead.
What you thought, Shawnee?
I think lack of respect. And, people always say, oh, they was disrespecting me. That's why I fought them. That's why I pulled out a gun. And it's like, but what respect do you have for yourself? What respect of life do you have? Because sometimes you just got to walk away. I got a gun. And trust me, I've wanted to pull it a couple of times on a couple of people. But what does that solve? That's for me to use in the event that I'm in a situation or my kids are in a situation where I have to stop a real threat, not just you cut me off in traffic or, you said something about my mama. So it's values, I think, where people's values are, because that was somebody's father, and then he lost his life with his daughter, so she only got to live 5 years.
That's the most heinous part of this whole thing.
It's like you didn't. So, I mean, I don't know what happened exactly or how it all went down, but to just shoot somebody down in broad daylight that early over what?
Right.
What did he do for that?